sunbathing, mamacita. Wow. 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 Wow, look at her. Oh, she's looking. She knows you're filming. It's so cute.
Hello, welcome to Rabbit Hole Rocks Live. Today we're going to be talking about Obsession, the movie. Everyone's been talking about it. It is a popular movie. Everyone has been asking me to watch it. And guess what? I did. I watched it over the weekend, and I will say it is really good. It is so good. We talked about it in our last live stream, and I mean, I'm glad I watched it. Very, very good movie. Yeah, let's go ahead and talk about the like just the first impressions, right? Um, Watching the movie for the first time, you don't really know what to expect. As far as how it was shot and everything that we see, it's a really well-made movie. The jump scares are good because they're not really all that crazy, right? There isn't really much supernatural stuff going on or, um, a lot of stabby stab. So you don't really see that much. So I really like the way that the flow of the movie went. It kind of goes straight into the point, and then you end up seeing how weird the main character is, which in this case, the main character happens to be also the villain. Now, when it comes to the actual film itself, right? Well, when it comes to everything that the movie is supposed to represent, that is what we'll be getting into today. Hello, Shelly. Hello. I haven't seen, so I don't know how good I'm going to be on here. Okay. Yeah, so just so you guys know, so if you do want to watch it, there's going to be spoilers, right? Like this whole movie is it's there's so many layers to this movie. It isn't really just a horror movie that you watch and you're like, "Oh, okay, yeah, that was scary. Let me go to sleep." No. There are layers upon layers upon layers. The movie itself is very metaphorical. Um, it's called Obsession, right? And so, yeah, we'll go ahead and play the trailer. Um, oh, that is more evil than Megan. Has anyone heard of Megan Huntsman? I can't think of anyone that is more evil than Megan. Wait, are we talking about a real person? Are we talking about a real person here? Megan Huntsman. Oh. Oh, that lady. Huh. Oh my god, no. No, I have not heard of this lady, but oh my goodness. That is so disgusting. Oh my god. Well, thank you for that, Lucky. You are Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, we're gonna be looking into another crazy woman who murdered her entire family. Well, it just never ends, right? Yeah, have my TV on your channel so you get the view. Yeah, thanks, Nancy. Thank you so much. Yes, exactly. Okay, so this movie, it's a psychological horror, right? It's a psychological thriller more than it is a scary movie. And the movie is called Obsession. And the whole premise of the movie is that you have this guy whose name is Bear. Go figure, right? Go figure. His name is Bear. Would you rather choose the bear or the man in the woods? Right. So that should be the very first clue about how this movie is going to go. Even the name of the main character is named Bear. It's short for Baron, but his name is Bear. And so, yeah, we're going to go through the entire premise of the movie. So it starts with this guy Bear who is uh, definitely obsessing over someone that he can't really get with, right? The thing is that from the very, very early, the very first scenes of the movie, we get the nice guy trope, right? So the thing with this movie is that the way I watched it is very, very much aligned to the way that I see all these other cases that we deal with on Rabbit Hole Rocks, the main channel. And so for me, it's very hard to step away and enjoy the movie without analyzing the deeper meaning, right? I mean, there's depth to this movie. And so that is what I want to talk about. The depth in this movie is that we watch the man named Bear, and he is what we know of as the nice guy trope. It is a trope, right? It is the belief that because he is a nice guy, he can't do anything wrong. Now, we already know that that's not the case. We already know from our main channel, Rabbit Hole Rocks, that nice guys are and can be evil, right? Just like Chris Watts. Chris Watts is a quiet guy, very shy, very introverted. Oh, I just wanted love, right? Very similar to the character in this movie. Chris Watts also chased after Shanann until she said yes. And then once she said yes, and he realized, oh, I guess this is it. This is my life now. Fuck, right? Then he realizes, oh, okay, the chase lost its meaning. After Chris Watts finally got his prize, which in that case was Shanann, the real relationship completely lost its meaning because what happened, as well as in the case of Bear in the movie, is that you know, like with Bear, Chris was mostly infatuated with the fantasy. He was mostly infatuated with the chase, and it wasn't really the relationship that he wanted. It's mostly about the chase and what they believe that the relationship can be like. And it's about being wanted and feeling loved. So, by the same type of analysis, this is what this movie is about. Um, hey, Eric. Hey, Eric. Have you seen this movie? Yeah, if you guys haven't seen this movie, there's going to be a lot of spoilers. But if you have seen it, I would love to hear your take on it. And I would love to discuss it with you guys. But yeah, very, very similar. Okay, so I'm going to play the trailer and I'm going to be stopping it constantly because it is a trailer and it is copyright material. So I'm going to be stopping it a lot, but I do want to show you guys the trailer so that we can start with kind of what the movie is showing you, right? What the trailer is showing you that the movie is about. Um, and then get into a few of these little clips and start talking about it and start analyzing the movie for what it really is, which is a movie about entitlement. It is a movie about selfishness, toxic relationships, toxic obsession of people, removing other people's agency, and feeling trapped in a relationship that you can't escape. So, with that in mind, let's go ahead and, yeah, yeah, Kara. Yeah, let's go ahead and dive into this trailer real quick. And like I said, it is going to be annoying. I'm going to have to stop it because I mean, I just have to. It's a trailer. So, yeah. So I'm going to stop it like every 5 seconds, to be completely honest with you. All right, so this is it. Or you know what I can do too? I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to lower the volume a little bit and talk over it. Okay. Okay, so yeah, so this is the main, right? So as we see, you have your two main characters. The guy that you just saw is the main character, Baron, and he's looking at photos of the woman that he's obsessing over, right? Which is Nikki. Her name is Nikki. He's obsessing over her. He wants to be with her, yet he knows nothing about her. If that's easy to believe. He knows nothing about her, but he is obsessed with the thought of her.
I'm gonna go get some shots.
Okay. Here he is. This is the nice guy trope, right? When you see him, you're like, oh, he's such a nice guy. He would be incapable of taking another woman's agency from her. Oh, he's so cute. Look at him. He's so sweet looking. Oh, this guy is incapable of trapping a woman in her own body. Oh, this man is incapable of violating someone else's autonomy, right? This is what we think of when we think of nice guys, right? The reason that so many people are stuck on why did Chris murder his family, it's because we have this belief that nice guys can never do any wrong. It's a trope. It is a belief. And it is a very harmful belief that we have in our society, that we think that just because a guy is nice or a girl could be nice, that they can't do anything wrong. And in fact, this is why they are able to get away with a lot of things that they do, because they think that because they're nice and because everyone around them also thinks that they're nice, that the rest of society and the world and the cops are also going to see it that way, right? This is exactly what Chris Watts was hoping for. He's like, oh, just ask my friends. They'll tell you I'm nice. He's like, yeah, just ask my family. Look at Facebook. I'm a nice guy. Yet he annihilated his whole family when his family became inconvenient, right? It's all about inconvenience. It is really all about a nice person who wears the mask of being a nice person in the world, but they are very capable of selfish and sinister things because they are selfish and because they are insecure. So, this is the case with this guy, right? Look at him. He looks like such a sweet guy. He's like, oh, my crush is going to go get some drinks. Maybe I should go with her. Right? And so this is how it starts. So let's go ahead and continue.
I'll come with you.
Here
if
he
you
is,
need
and
this
he's like,
much
oh my God, I'll go with you. Right? And here she is. She is showing very, very little interest. Okay. We are barely even able to see only a small bit of how she actually feels for him. And what we're able to see is not enough, because guess what? He doesn't give her the opportunity for us to see how she feels about him, because he decides, you know what? I don't want to hear a no. I'd rather force you into saying yes. All right, so let's go ahead and continue.
You.
Right? She's like, oh, she's really sweet. She's kind of flirting with him. We don't really know. Where is this movie on? Oh, it is on Peacock. Peacock, guys. Oh, my ear is itchy. It is on Peacock. I highly recommend it. Please, please, please go watch. Go watch. Yes, it's all internal. Yes. Yes. It definitely is. I want to see this movie. Yeah, you guys have to see it. Again, right? I'm gonna be ruining it for a lot of you if you haven't seen it yet, because I'm basically telling you the premise of the story. But at least, if you are listening to this, then you can watch it through those lens, right? You can watch it as entertainment, but you can also watch it through an analytical lens of what the movie is really trying to tell you, right? The message is trying to send it to you. So here she is, right? We don't really know. We don't really know how she feels about her. They do hint at it throughout the movie, though, in the very few scenes. You have to really listen, right? You got to listen to the dialogue, listen to the way that she's acting towards him. The first few scenes give you the impression that had Bear actually given her the opportunity, she may have given him a chance. But the thing is, he doesn't even give her the opportunity, because he doesn't want to hear no. All right.
And I know she
Which is so
does.
crazy. Look at him. Okay. Again, nice guy trope. Look at his face. When you see him, you'd be like, yeah, this is such a nice guy. He's sweet. He was not even capable of hurting a fly. Who says that? Cindy Watts. Cindy Watts says that about her son.
Say, Nikki,
Here we go again, right? We have another scene. In this very scene, I haven't seen it, but you can't ruin it for me. Are you sure? All right. In this very first scene, we see him trying to talk to her, right? Let's watch it now, Rox. We can't. That's the thing. We can't. We can't watch the whole movie. We're watching the trailer and we're definitely talking about it. Unfortunately, we can't watch the whole movie. It is free. Yes, you guys. Yeah, go ahead and watch it. It's free. Okay, but we see this man here. He's practicing, right? He wants to talk to her. He's like, I wanna let her know how I feel about her. Except he doesn't. He doesn't. He's a coward. He's a coward. Rather than work on himself, he'd rather just go after this girl because this girl makes him feel good. So the thing is that rather than work on himself, rather than work on his mental health, making sure that he is healthy and that he loves himself first before he attempts to get into a relationship, rather than do that, he chooses instead to go after a girl that makes him feel good. And he doesn't do the work for it. And I think that is the biggest problem about this, but not just this, it happens in many relationships. It is such a common thing that we see in relationships. And it's just kind of sad,
I think we should grab a drink
right? This is a friend here.
sometime.
Okay. Now we see Bear dropping her off. This is his opportunity to let her know how he supposedly feels about her.
Nikki, wait.
Right? He tells her, wait, Nikki, wait. Before this, you will see that she gives him an opportunity. All right, let's go ahead and see this.
What?
Right.
I lost my train of thought.
Right? He's wanting to tell her. He's like so shy. He's like, I want to tell you that I like you. He's like, oh, no, never mind. Oh my God, never mind.
Why?
And when she gives him the chance for him to say yes, he says, you know what? I only see you as a friend. And so she's like, okay, well, if you only see me as a friend, then I guess I'm going to go away. And she does. And she goes home. And he is here hating himself for saying, why did I say that? I should have just told her that I like her. Except he's a coward. He's a coward. He's not going to tell her how she feels, because what he doesn't want to hear is a no. Before this, you don't see the part. He goes to a store and he gets something called a wish. What is it? The Willow's Wish, all right? Wishing Willow. The Wishing Willow is something that it's supposed to be a gag, right? It's just supposed to be a collectible. You're not supposed to really use it. But we're about to see that he uses the Wish Willow. And what happens is that he wishes for a very selfish wish. And this is the main point of the movie. And this is what I want to discuss about it. If you watch this movie, and when you do, watch it from the lens of how did the director wanted you to watch it. Okay, so the director's name is Curry Baker. The way that he directed and made this film is meant for you to know that there is no entity. Nikki does not get possessed by a ghost or a demon or a weird paranormal entity. She's not possessed by the devil. No. She is possessed by the selfish wish that he makes. And that is the most crucial part of this movie, is focusing on his wish. The wish is what makes her go completely insane, because that's what he believes that love is. Now, let's go ahead and continue with this. You saw that? There's a wish willow. One wish willow.
One wish willow.
There it is. Amaze your friends. You only get one wish. He gets one wish. That's it. Okay?
You only get one wish.
He's going to make the wish. This is the part. Nikki already gave him the option. She already said, do you like me, Bear? And he's like, no, I think we're really just good as friends. And she's like, are you fucking serious? Are you serious? Okay, fine then. Bye. I'm leaving. And then he's like, fuck, why did I say that? Well, anyway, let me grab this out and then just wish for her to love me without even giving her a chance first. Have her tell you that she loves you, not force her to love you, guy. But no, this is what he's about to do. Rather than give her the opportunity, he's just going to wish for it.
You love me more than anyone in the entire world.
You know what he just said? He said, I wish Nikki loves me more than anything in the fucking world. That was his exact wish. He said her full name. I wish Nikki Freeman. Okay. Even the thing is, all right. The thing is when certain filmmakers make movies and they write scripts and they write the entire screenplay, a lot of the scenes and a lot of the screenplay that you see is not just filler. All of it means something, okay? So even her name tells you that she is a free person. Her name is Nikki Freeman. This guy's name is Bear. I mean, even the name should tell you something. Freeman, right? She's a free woman at that time. She has her agency. She has her autonomy. She's free, and she's about to be unfree because of the wish that this selfish man is about to make. And he did it. He wished, I hope that Nikki Freeman loves me more than anything in this fucking world. Listen to that. I wish that Nikki Freeman loves me more than anything in the fucking world. He didn't say, I wish that we fall in love with one another. He didn't say that. He didn't say, I wish that we can both get into a relationship where we both love and respect one another. No, he didn't say that. He said, I want her to love me and not me love her in return. It is a very selfish wish from the very beginning. Now let's continue. And there she is. All of a sudden, she's like, not herself anymore. It's not a demon. It's not a ghost. It's not an entity. The wish that he made was so selfish that it's going to change who she is, because she went from being a friend to him to someone who is going to love him more than anything in the fucking world, because it is what he believes love is. And that's the scary part about this movie, is how obsessed he is with her and what he sees as love, that is what he gets from the wish. So it is really how his brain works, that is what he gets, right? Are we kind of like following here? All right, let's go ahead and continue. Barker. I said Baker. It's Curry Barker.
Love you so much.
Right? You hear that? I love you so much. So he has her now, right? This is just one of the very first scenes that we see. He has her now. He's in a relationship with her as he wished, except now he's getting kind of tired of it, right? Is this very similar to normal relationships that we see, everyday common relationships? You know, maybe like the one with Chris Watts and Shanann, right? At first he wanted her and then he got her and he's like, oh, this is kind of boring. I don't want to have kids and have a family. This is kind of lame. Yeah, it's kind of what is happening here. Right? Oh my goodness.
Of a willow tree could conjure.
She's losing her mind. And he's kind of like, what the fuck? Look at that. Look at how he's already moving her face away, right? She's showing him the love that he wished for, right? He said, I want her to love me more than anything in the fucking world. You know what that means? More than anything. So more than her cat, more than her dog, more than her family, more than her friends, and more than herself. That is what he asked for. He asked for her to completely devote herself all to him, to the point where she doesn't even care about herself. And here we're already seeing that she's showing him all the love and he's like, you're kind of annoying me already. Can you just watch TV?
It's weird how you two are dating all of a sudden.
Yeah. Yeah, it is kind of weird.
Super dating.
Yeah, look at it here. He's finding out that the wish that the wish worked, right? This is when he finds out that the wish worked. Exactly, Josie, never more than my cat. I would never love anything more than my cat. I love my cats more than anything in this fucking world, for real. And that's why I give them their autonomy, right? I don't harass them. I love them, and that's why I respect them, because I really love them. It's genuine, healthy love. I'm not, overpowering them or grabbing them or pulling their tail and being like, you need to love me at all costs. No. And this is a scene where we see that he is finding out that the wish worked, right? So when you watch the movie, you'll see he's like, I don't know, she's acting kind of weird. He doesn't know yet that the wish worked, right? So this is the part where it's entertainment and it's movie. He's like, oh, I didn't know the wish worked. And he's kind of trying to figure it out. He's like, what happened with Nikki? She was my friend. All of a sudden, she's all into me, right? He's like, weird. He finds out that it works. And after he finds out that it works, I think that is when you should know that he's a villain. Because when he finds out that she is under a spell, right? When he finds out that the only reason that she's acting this way is because of a wish that he made, he knows that she has no autonomy. That is not her, and her agency has been taken from her. So he should know better than to continue to be in a relationship with someone who has no control over her body or her autonomy. But he continues to have it because why? Because he's selfish. Because he didn't care about her ever. All he ever cared about was being with her and how being with her would make him feel.
I think Nikki is going through.
Yeah. He says, I think Nikki's going through changes. Yeah, guy.
something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah. Scary.
what? Is she okay? No.
No, she's not okay. Not at all. She loves you more than anything in this fucking world.
Jeez, bro, can't spell your
Mm-hmm. Yeah, crazy shit. Oh my God. It gets really crazy. Yeah, totally regrets that wish. The thing is that he doesn't. The thing is that he doesn't. He doesn't regret the wish. He wants to alter it. The thing is, when he finds out that the wish is real, and even though it's destroying his life and the life of the person that he took the autonomy away from, he still doesn't want to take the wish back. All he wants to do is alter it. So he still wants to have complete control over her body and her mind, and he wants to have complete control over her. He just doesn't like how much she is obsessed with him now. So he just wants to alter it a little bit and be like, well, hold on. I still want her to love me and all, but just not this intensely. Can we just, I don't know, turn it down a few notches? That is his actual wish later on. He's like, can we just turn it down a few notches? I'm not really comfortable with this much love. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, everyone's like, what the hell? Crazy, crazy. Yeah, here she is screaming, why don't you love me? Shit's crazy. Yeah. Yes. All right, let's go ahead and... Yeah, instant horror classic. Oh my goodness, look at this. Okay, guys, oh man, the thing is, I don't want to keep ruining it for you guys, but you guys are already here. I guess you guys are all in it. You're in it now. Okay, without ruining it too much for you guys, this scene is very important, okay? When you guys watch it, please, please, please pay attention to the scene, even if you have to pause it, okay? I highly recommend that you pause it, okay? Because there is a scene... There's a scene where his neglect, right? The thing is, from the very first minute that you see this man and how he lives alone, it should give you a glimpse into his psyche. The man is incredibly fucking depressed. He's depressed. He is in no way, shape, or form ready to be in a relationship with anybody. The man is clearly going through some mental health struggles. But rather than do therapy, rather than, I don't know, work on himself, he's like, I don't really care about that. I just want someone to make me feel good. So this scene is incredibly important. A lot of people miss it. A lot of people think that the man loved the cat that he murdered. Spoiler alert. He's living in his grandma's house. Okay, his grandma died. And his grandma left him the house that he's living in. Of course, he's neglecting it, as he neglected her cat. Grandma left behind a cat, and he didn't even care, really, to take care of the cat. You only know this because of one scene, and this is the scene I'm telling you guys that is very important, because you'll see that the scene shows you that he is not caring for the cat. Anyone who is a cat owner who loves their cat or their dog or their rat, right, or their bird, you know that if you're going to feed your animal, you feed them a certain way. You don't just half-ass open a can and throw it on the floor, and then half-ass open another can and throw it on the floor, and then you just grab a whole bag of kibble and fucking dump it, and you're just like, here you go, cat. Eat whatever you want. cat owners, people who are not neglectful, do not feed their cats that way. People who are neglectful, and from experience, someone who has been depressed in the past will tell you that if you are trying to feed your cat when you're depressed, it is very hard. It is very hard. Very many times I was actually tempted to just fill a big a big tub of food so that they can just feed themselves throughout the week, because it was so hard for me to get up and feed my cats at times because I was so severely depressed. This is what this shows you. It shows you that he has no time or care in the world to actually pay attention to the cat. And it also shows you that the cat poisons him or herself, her name is Sandy. The cat poisons herself on OxyContin. The OxyContin that belonged to his grandma that he is now taking. Now, again, the movie doesn't show you this. You're supposed to conclude that based on the scene. It's a very quick scene. But when you see it, you'll see that the OxyContin is on the floor, mixed with the kibble, mixed with other cans of food that are very half-assed opened. And he kind of just opened them and left them there. He's like, fuck it, open them and left them there. So it kind of gives you an idea of what he's been doing with the OxyContin. His grandma died, so why is the OxyContin out? Well, he was taking it. He was taking it to numb his pain, to numb his isolation, his loneliness, his depression. And he killed the cat. You know what he does? He puts the cat in the trash. He grabs a trash bag, he cleans it up, grabs a trash bag, puts the cat in the trash bag. And then you don't really see what happens to the cat. It comes out later, though, in very creepy ways. The cat comes back. But I think that's very clearly showing you that the man is very neglectful. A cat, and you'll see throughout this entire movie, the cat reference is shown throughout the entire movie. Pay attention to that. The first thing you see is the cat that he kills because of his neglect. It's his fault that the cat died. And then you'll see that there is a clock that belonged to his grandma that is also a cat. Pay attention to that. There's also, on the back of the One Wish Willow thing, right? The container, when he flips it over, it says in the very corner, it says Tabby Cat Curiosities. A lot of cat references throughout the movie. Now, when I was watching this movie as a cat owner myself, of course I'm going to be analyzing it, right? Very analytical. And I'm like, why are these cat references here? Cats, as we know, they represent autonomy. They represent boundaries, respect. If you want to earn the love of a cat, it's very different than earning the love of a dog, right? A dog, very easy, right? Dogs are people pleasers. Dogs will love you. They love strangers. They jump on strangers. They shake their tail. They're like, wagging their tail. Cats are not like that. If you want to earn the love of a cat, you have to respect their boundaries. You have to really, really work hard to get a cat to trust you. The cat references throughout this movie says it all. He did not respect the boundaries of the person that he said to have loved, right? It's boundaries, right? He doesn't respect them. The cat died. And then he wished for a woman who is free, who has autonomy, who has agency, who has boundaries. He decided not to respect any of those, just like he didn't respect the cat. It is all signs of autonomy. It is him not respecting autonomy. Yeah, Eric. Yeah, 94% on Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah, seems to be well liked. It is a very good movie. Very, very good movie. And again, it's very analytical. And that's the thing. If you're watching the movie and you're just watching it at face value, oh my gosh, I'm so hot. I'm like sweating. If you're watching it and you're watching it at taking it at face value, you're going to be like, oh yeah, it's a cool movie. It's scary. Yeah, she was possessed by an entity. No. But if you watch it and then you analyze the layers, the shit is so sinister because this is what happens in real life. Obviously, you can't make a wish and then make somebody obsessed with you, but it is almost like a cautionary tale, right? This is a cautionary tale for people who want to invade people's privacy or break boundaries, right? Not respect people's boundaries. That's what this movie is all about. It's a cautionary tale. Just don't be an asshole. Respect people. Respect their boundaries. Respect them when they want to leave. If they don't want to be in the relationship anymore, let them go. Let them go. If they don't want to be with you and you keep chasing after them, let them go. Let them go. You can't force people to love you. Harry Potter taught us this, guys. Like, I mean, fuck. I've been knowing this shit, right? Since I was in, what, the 6th grade? 6th, 7th grade? Harry Potter taught us that you can't make wishes for somebody to love you, because that in and of itself is an unethical wish, because you're taking away another person's control over what they feel. You can't force people to feel a certain way if they don't feel that way. But he does. He does. He's forcing himself onto a cat that has boundaries. And he says, no, you're not going to have boundaries. Not with me. All right, let's go ahead and continue. Look at him. Now he's like, oh my God, why did I do this? Oh my goodness. Yep, it is definitely sinister, wild, and crazy.
Nikki?
Oh my goodness. You guys, it is such a good movie. She is such a great actress too. Oh my God. The acting in this movie, the entire cast, fucking great work. I think, let's move away from the analysis. Let's talk about the characters and the actors. Oh my God. Fucking amazing. Amazing, amazing. She does such a great job. Her facial expressions, right? She goes from looking normal to being crazy. It is so good. I'm second guessing watching it too. Oh no. Yeah, well, if it hits close to home, it might be a little bit hard to digest. Yeah. You know what's scary about it? The most scary about it is that, it happens in real life. Oh my God. Look at that. Now he's like, can you not love me as much, please? Oh God.
I love you. I love you. I love you. I love
Look at this. Yeah, is that NK? Yes, Eric, yeah. The script and the acting in any movie is key. You can have a great script, but then the actors just screw it all up. It's not going to be a good movie. Or you can have really good acting, but the script is trash. No. That's the worst, if anything. I think it's worse to have good actors and shitty scripts than to have a good script and shitty actors. At least the script kind of just gets, it speaks for itself. But imagine having a good actor and they're just acting out a stupid script. Oh man, I would be so pissed. Anyway, all right, let's continue. Mm-hmm. It's his obsession, not hers. She was never obsessed with him. Look at that.
I was
The one
calling
wish
to
willow.
see if there's a way I can cancel a wish.
Here he is. He's calling. He's calling. He called the back of the One Wish Willow box, and he's looking at the phone number and he's like, oh, look, I can call customer service. And so he does. He calls customer service and he's like, what the fuck is wrong with her? Is this real? Does the wish really work? And the guy's like, yeah, of course it works. And he's like, okay, well, can I cancel it? And he's like, yeah, we can't really cancel things, right? Or actually, that's not what happens. That's not what happens. He's asking, can I alter it? And he's like, you can't really alter it. And he's like, would you wish to cancel it though? And he's like, no. I'm not trying to cancel it. No, I'm not trying to give up control over her. I'm not trying to do that. I'm just trying to alter it so that it can be more convenient for me. That's what he's doing. He's trying to alter the wish so that it can be more convenient for him. The person on the phone tells him, we can't really do that. And he's like, are you fucking serious? And the guy on the phone tells him, if you really want to free her because she's trapped, if you really want to free her, the best way to free her is if you're gone. Yeah. Nikki is going to be like that for the rest of her life unless he is no longer around. So the key here is the best way, the only way to free Nikki from the nightmare that she's living is for him to unalive himself. because the wish will only be working as long as he is alive. And then he's asked, do you want to speak to the real Nikki, the one that is trapped? Not the one that you wished for, but the one that is trapped. And he's like, huh? And then you hear the real Nikki, and she's screaming in torture. And then he's like, I don't want to do that. No, I don't want to talk to her. And he goes back inside. And he's like, yeah, you know what? No, it's okay. I think I'm okay with this. I'm not willing to give up control over her.
I'm sorry, we don't really do that.
So she's just stuck like this forever?
Yeah. So she's just stuck like this forever? Mm.
Well, yeah, I mean, as long as you live.
As long as I live?
Yeah. For as long as I live, right? So for as long as he lives, she is stuck like that. So the answer is he just needs to go away to free her. That's it. That is so crazy, right? But yeah, that is yeah. We can watch more scenes. Yeah, let's go ahead and watch there's a scene here. This is the scene where he finds out, okay? And I think this is the most important scene, in my opinion, of the whole movie. Because this is where he finds out that she is under a spell, that is not her, and that she is the wish that he expected. Because then you see what he does immediately after. He knows that that's not really her because she would have never acted that way. So he knows that who he has control over is not the person that he wants because she doesn't have any autonomy over her body. So it's pretty fucked up what he does afterwards, knowing that, oh, the wish worked? Okay, cool. Let me have fun with it.
What?
Yeah, this part is crazy. This part is so crazy. Yeah, guys, please go ahead and watch it. Yeah, we need to watch it. Yes. Yes, you guys have to watch it. He deserves everything he gets. Exactly, Shelley. He does. He does. He's selfish. Absolutely selfish. In this scene, he's asking her questions, right? Because again, right, the Nikki that he's seeing is the one from the wish that he wished for. But she's lying, right? She's doing a lot of things that are out of character. And so she's lying about something about her life. And so he asked her about it. And he's like, is it true? Or are you lying? And this is when she gets up and she's like, oh, no. No, you're not going to do that. You're not going to be asking me whether I'm lying about my family or not. Because that shouldn't matter. Your wish was that I love you more than anything in the fucking world. So why does it matter if I'm lying about my life or not? You don't care, right? That is the whole point of this scene here. A lot of people miss it. But the whole point that she's just, what she's doing here is saying none of this should matter to you because that's not what you care about. You care about having control over my body and my mind. So whether my dad really died or not, or he's sick or he has cancer, none of that should matter. And then you know what he says? He's like, you're right. I don't care. It's fucking crazy. Yeah. Like, oh my God. Right? He's all embarrassed now. He's like, oh my God, you can't be doing that. But that's what he wished for.
Why does it matter? I thought we were having a nice date.
Right? So she's acting this way because she's like, we were having such a nice date. This is what you wished for, didn't you? So why are you asking me questions at this point? Yeah, I'm inconsistent, but that shouldn't matter to you.
We are. It's okay.
Wow.
We are.
Look at him. He's such a nice guy, though, isn't he? Aw. I study psychology, so I'm learning a lot that way. Yeah, that way. And on off time. I watch a lot of videos. Yeah. He ticks every single box. Yes. Yeah, he does, doesn't he? Yeah. Yeah, same. Dragon Onion. Same. Yeah, I relate to Nikki. Mhm. Yeah, I relate to her in many ways, especially um yeah, one of my previous relationships, I can definitely see how trapped I felt. And I didn't even know why. It was just all very subtle, right? Very subtle little you know, ways of control that I didn't even really see it because of the nice guy trope. There it is. You didn't see the last part because they were only showing you a little clip. But this is the point where Bear asked Nikki, "Do you love me?" And she's like, "Yeah, I do." And he's like, "More than anything in the fucking world?" And she says, "Yes, more than anything in the fucking world." And that's when he finds out, oh shit, the one wish willow worked. And then you see the next scene, and that's when you should already know, oh, this guy is fucking trash. That is how you should know, right? But a lot of people miss it. And I think this is the scarier part, right? And I think this is why it's so scary, is because most people don't catch it. If you look through what people are saying, a lot of people are analyzing it in the way that Curry Barker wanted it to be analyzed. Right? This is his movie. He's already talked about it. He has already said, no, it's not an entity. It's his wish. So watch it from that perspective, right? But a lot of people still miss it. They're just watching it. A lot of people actually sympathize with Bear. They don't even see Nikki as a victim at all. She's the only victim in this whole movie because she's the one that is being constantly violated against her will. But people don't see it that way. They think that he is the victim. He's the one that made the wish, and he's the selfish one. He never once wished to love her in return. He wished for her to love him. And then people think he's the victim. And then he's the one that is taking advantage of her because the wish worked. And then they still think he's the victim. She is the victim. She is the one who is being used, controlled, her bodily autonomy taken away from her. And people still think that he is the victim. That is what is wrong with society. Because this is the exact same reason why people think that Chris Watts is a fucking victim when he's not. It's Shanann. Shanann is the victim in the whole thing. But notice that there are so many people that are looking at her and her character and her parenting style and the way that she treated her kids. And oh my gosh, she was way too ambitious, way too into her work. They see him as the victim, Chris Watts. When she's the victim. She's the one who was buried in a shallow grave. Yet they want to look at her and all of the things that she has done in her life without even taking into consideration the fact that Chris was just a selfish individual. You don't have to look like a monster to be a monster. And just like with other, right? Like just with all of the perpetrators that we go through on Rabbit Hole Rocks. When you look at them, they don't look evil. Right? When you look at Corey Richins and you see her photos when she was hanging out with Eric Richins, before that, does she look evil? No. She looks like a normal woman. She did an evil thing and she poisoned her husband. Why? Because she's selfish. Chris Watts, did he look evil? No, he didn't. But he did evil things because he's selfish. The scary thing here is that normal, everyday people will do evil things because they're selfish. So you don't have to be an absolute monster to do selfish, evil things. You just have to be selfish. And that's what's so crazy. Yes, exactly, Shelley. Monsters hide in plain sight. That is the whole premise of this movie. That is the whole point of it, is that just because someone is showing you their nicest, truest side, right? Just because they're sweet and quiet and they act like Chris Watts, doesn't mean that they can't strangle you to death, right? Or use you in different ways, or gaslight you the way that Chris Watts gaslit Shanann all the way up to the point where he murdered her. He's a nice guy. Cindy Watts still thinks that he's a nice guy. All the women that write to Chris Watts still think he's a nice guy. And they think she's the one who's evil. That shit's crazy. Oh my God. All right, Sunlime. See ya. Yeah, have a good weekend. Yeah, Shanann was living like a shift shaping covert narcissist. Yeah, yes, exactly. Shanann was living with a shift shaping covert narcissist. Yes, exactly. What is my favorite subgenre of horror? Subgenre? Oh my God. I don't even know. Give me a list of subgenres, Eric. Here, let's see. Subgenre of horror movie. Here, I'm just gonna Google them and then see which ones I would pick. All right, yeah, there we go. Because there's so many. There we go. We have a monster, we have slasher, we have supernatural, and we have psychological. We have sci-fi, we have gore, we have horror comedy. I do love a good horror comedy, I will say. But to answer your question, Eric, my favorite is probably a psychological horror. I do like I like psychological thrillers. I love analyzing things, you guys. I have a hard time watching things for entertainment purposes. Is that bad? When I watch things, if they're entertainment, I get bored and I fall asleep. I have to analyze it. I have to be like, "Huh, what does that mean? Is there a deeper meaning to this?" Otherwise, I get bored. So yeah, my favorite subgenre would have to be psychological. And then following that one, I would probably say a good horror comedy for the same reason because horror comedies also have layers, right? When you bring in comedy to something like horror or something as difficult to talk about as true crime, there's always layers to it, right? And so that's why I love a good horror comedy. Yeah, what about you guys? You guys let me know. What do you guys like? Here, let's go ahead and do a little poll. Let's go ahead and start a poll. Yeah, are we all horror movie fans here? Or are some of us more like, rom-com? I like a good rom-com. Or, a chick flick. Or yeah, I like action movies. Are we more like action? What do we like? Okay, let's go ahead. I'm gonna ask the same question that Eric asked. What is your favorite horror sub genre? Oh my goodness, I'm spelling that wrong. Genre. Okay. All right. I'm going to do the same one. So psychological. So psychological. What else do we think? Maybe like supernatural movies or scary movies are really good too. The only thing with those is that they tend to be mostly just face value movies or entertainment. And if there's nothing for me to analyze, I'm kind of I start drifting off. No horror for me. No KTD. No. Okay. Yeah. Josie, no, you don't like it? Oh, science fiction. Yes, I do like a good sci-fi. Yeah, definitely like a good sci-fi. All right, we have psych, supernatural, slasher. Should we do slasher? We have slasher. I don't really like gore. I don't like gore. Gore is weird. Oh, here it is. Look, splatter. Ugh. I don't know. I don't really like it. It's not even that I'm like by it. It's just dumb to me. I don't know, but to me. Although I will take that back when it comes to Terrifier. I consider Terrifier a horror comedy and gore mixed all together. Yeah, I know, right? Gore is just interesting. Okay. Let's go ahead and I'll ask you guys this question. And then I'll ask you guys about sci-fi. I do love a good sci-fi. Oh, right. Crime and suspense movies. Yes. Yeah, rom-com, KTD. You like a good romantic comedy? Yeah, a combo subgenres. Yeah. Yeah, what are we looking at? Oh, Psych. Nice. Okay. We got Psych, we got Supernatural, and Slasher. Dang, no one likes the funny, the funny horror. Frequency. The movie Frequency. I gotta look that one up. The movie Frequency. 2000. Dennis Quaid. What is it? Is it a it's like a oh, it's a sci-fi thriller. Oh, okay. Very solid film. Okay. Hmm. Oh, look at this. It's one of this person's favorite movies. One of my favorite movies is Frequency with Dennis Quaid. Okay. Thank you for this. I'll watch it. Guys, I don't like to watch trailers because it ruins the movie for me. So I'm just gonna watch it the way that I watched Obsession. Last time all you guys were telling me to watch it, so I did. I'm like, I'm just gonna watch it. I'm not even gonna look at the trailer. I'm just gonna watch it. And my God. By the way, did you guys watch the movie I asked you guys to watch last week? It is God, what's the name of it? I always forget the name of it. I don't know why. When Evil Lurks. Have you guys watched that movie, When Evil Lurks? You guys have to watch it. You guys have to watch it. Watch it and then come talk to me about it. I want to talk to you guys about it. White Noise, Dragon Onion. Yes, I do remember White Noise. Oh, God, I do remember that one. Do you guys remember White Noise? White Noise movie? Oh, hold on. Which one? The 2005 one, right? Like the scary one? Like the one with Michael Keaton? Is that the one you're talking about? Or you're talking about the comedy? Okay, let's see here. Hold on. Okay, I don't remember that. Okay, yes. Oh no, what's going on? Okay, hang on real quick. Pen as a moderator, timeout. Okay. Sorry, I'm just checking. All of Tommy's girl Tommy's girl, your messages are all being deleted. It might be a mistake. Hold on. I'm trying to fix it real quick. I just want to make sure that you're not hidden. Hide user. No, you're good. Okay, what's going on? Okay. All right. I just wanted to make sure that you're not hidden. Okay. I know, Josie. Yeah, I saw that. I knew it was an accident. You're good. You're good. I just want to make sure that I don't know how to restore it though. How do I restore this? Okay. You're good, Tommy's girl. I'm seeing your chat now. You're in. Okay. Okay, where were we? Okay, never thought a good point. Kicked myself out of the chat. No worries, guys. I read a lot. Yeah, I read a lot of psychological thrillers. I'll be away from chat. It's okay. Like true crime. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, Tommy's girl, you're good. Yeah, no worries, Josie. No worries. Okay. Michael Keaton. Yeah. Okay, so this is the movie that we are talking about, discussing in the chat. It is White Noise, the one with Michael Keaton. Very, very good movie. It is also a psychological thriller. It's just creepy as hell. Oh God. Unless it's a Medea Boo movie. Yes. Yeah, 13 Ghosts. Yes, Shelley. Oh my God, 13 Ghosts is so good. Yeah, yes. 13 Ghosts. If you guys have not seen 13 Ghosts, it is a classic for me. Yeah, this one right here. It's a good movie. I blame NK on any malfunction here. Yeah, yes. NK, if you're watching on this channel, can you please subscribe as well? Yeah, if she's watching, like, please subscribe to all of them. If I have 7 channels, please subscribe to all of them, Nicole Kessinger. Oh, man. But yeah, guys, this movie, insane. Insane. If you like psychological thrillers, like I see that many of you guys do, 64% of you guys like psychological thrillers, I recommend this. I absolutely recommend it. It is fantastic. It is such a good movie. Very well written, very well made. The actors are incredible. I mean, the guy that acted out Bear's character, he does such a great job because I hate him. He did such a great job at acting that I hate the guy. See, that's how you know that he did really, really well. All right, do we want to see? Oh, look at this. The moment Nikki became possessed with Bear. All right, let's go ahead and see. I just want to see what other people are saying about the movie. Okay, so let's go ahead and see an analysis. Let's go ahead and see an obsession analysis. Look at that. It says Easter eggs. How long is this? This is 24 minutes. Okay, let's go ahead and see. It does have the perfect ending. Oh my God. You guys, if you watch, please pay attention to I don't want, the one thing I won't talk about is the ending, but please pay attention to the ending. The ending is so important. If you don't get the ending, then the whole point of the movie is kind of out the window. You have to understand the ending. I don't want to do that one. Let's not do that one because it's going to spoil the ending. Analyzing evil obsession. Look at this. This is what we're talking about. Analyzing Bear. How modern male insecurity creates a predator obsession. Let's go ahead and watch this one.
So last week, I saw Obsession, and the next day, I analyzed the film.
Okay, guys. Oh, by the way, if you guys didn't know, I've watched this movie 4 times. I've watched this movie 4 times. I watched it on Friday after I hopped off of the live stream because you guys told me to watch it, so I did. And then I watched it on Saturday night. And then I watched it again on Sunday night. And then I watched it again on Monday morning. Right before the live stream, I'm like, I need to watch this really, really quick. So I was like doing other things, and then I was, like feeding the cats and stuff, and I'm just watching, and I'm like, fuck, this movie's so good because it has layers. The thing is, you gotta watch so many times to see the layers that it has. But anyway, all right, let's go ahead and listen to this guy.
But after seeing the movie a second time, there's one aspect of this film that I think deserves an analysis all to itself. Bear as a character. Bear as a human being.
Yeah, Bear as a character and Bear as a human being. Again, pay attention to his name. His name is Bear. As I said, right? When filmmakers make movies, yeah, sometimes the names are just shit, right? They're just like, oh yeah, let's name her Jimothy and let's name him Sarah Stone, or whatever, or the other way around, right? Let's name her this and him that, or whatever. But sometimes it does have meaning. And the fact that the man's name is Bear should tell you what the movie is about right off the bat. I mean, his name is not fucking Jackson, right? Or Matthew or Billy. No, his name is Bear. Bear. I mean, it's his nickname, but it's short for Baron, but they call him Bear. I mean, even that is in itself symbolic. Yes, yeah. Yeah, his name is Baron, but his name is Baron, but his nickname is Bear. So, like mine, me, right? Roxy, but it rocks, right? Short for Roxy is rocks. So him is Baron, but they call him Bear. But the point is that the characters don't call him Baron. They call him Bear. right? And so the point is that his nickname is Bear. So that should tell you that he is already seen as a bear, right? And Jimothy. All right, let's go ahead and keep watching.
How a young man suffering from severe loneliness and insecurity can eventually evolve into a predator of cruelty and manipulation.
Does that sound familiar to anybody? Someone who deals with severe depression, loneliness, insecurity. Who does that sound like, you guys? Who does that sound like? It starts with a P, ends with a O. It's called potato. Oh man. All right. So for those of you, if we have any watchers that don't watch Rabbit Hole Rocks and you guys are wondering what I'm talking about, the predator that we're talking about is this guy. His name is Christopher Watts. Chris Watts is a known family annihilator. When I watched the movie, I thought of Chris the entire time. The good guy trope is this guy. This is who it is, right? Very lonely, right? Oh, he'd never even rebelled. Very isolated. He never really had much attention from girls, right? He was chasing after Shanann. That's what I think of.
And for this character analysis, I'll provide research and insights from psychological studies and interviews with the director and the
Perfect. Oh, perfect. I love this. I love that there is psychological evidence that he's bringing into the analysis, and then also the characters themselves, because this is important, right? It's important to know what the actual director meant when he made the film, and then what the characters and the actors were also thinking when they were acting out the characters. So again, it tells you what the movie is really about, and so that you won't take it as at face value.
actors. So to break this character down, we're going to use 3 themes. 1, the loneliness epidemic. We'll discuss Bear's loneliness, Bear's opening monologue, the psychology of Bear's obsession, and the connection between loneliness and crushes. 2, love story versus romance.
Yes.
We'll discuss Nikki's love story versus romance line, whether Nikki is actually interested in Bear or not, and both lead actors' takes on whether Nikki is interested in Bear or not. And 3, the harmless predator. We'll discuss Bear's transition.
Oh, he's harmless. Oh, he is so harmless. Look at him. Look at his face. He's so harmless.
From victim to villain, the director's take on Bear's true nature, Bear's methods of justification and abuse, the just be Nikki line, the phone conversation between Bear and the customer service rep, the sex scene, why Bear's name is Bear,
I mean, I would probably reword that.
Conversation between Bear and the customer service rep, the sex scene.
I would reword this to the R word, RAPE, because that's actually what it is.
Why Bear's name is Bear, Nikki's Hansel and Gretel story, Nikki saying, "I've never been with you" in her sleep, and the ending when Bear tries to vomit the pills, and so much more. Hope you enjoy. Theme number 1, the loneliness epidemic. So when this film starts, the number 1 thing it wants to establish is that our main character, Bear, is lonely.
Yep.
From a photography standpoint, the very first shot of the film perfectly captures Bear's feeling of isolation. The cold, dreary composition, with no one sitting next to him and no one in the background. With the extras only entering the frame after he's finished this long monologue about his deepest emotions. And in this scene, Bear is rehearsing his confession to Nikki about his feelings for her. And the important note here is, everything Bear says he admires about Nikki is tied to his loneliness. We find out he's been isolated and excluded in the past, as he says, "You were the only person who was nice to me when I moved here."
Yeah. He's infatuated with Nikki because she's the only one that showed him any attention. She is the only one. Who does that sound like, guys? Who does that sound like? He was infatuated with a literal Nikki because she's the only one that showed him any attention. Isn't that crazy? Holy shit. That's crazy. I mean, even the character's name is Nikki. This man loved Nikki because Nikki was like, "Oh my God, are those really your biceps? Yeah. Do you go to the gym? I'm part of the gym community too. Are you? I haven't seen you around." Yeah, that's why. It's because of this. It's the only person that showed him attention. Same here. Nikki was the only woman who showed him any attention when he moved there, so he became infatuated with her. And it's because he's lonely. He's just very, very lonely.
And currently, we learn he's just lost his grandmother. As he says, after Nana passed, you were the one that called. And then his final
Yeah. After Nana passed, you are the only one who called. He's literally, he is almost just forcing himself onto her because she's the only one that makes him feel any less lonely and shitty about himself.
line perfectly mirrors his eventual wish for Nikki. I would choose you over everything. And the connections to loneliness continue in the very next scene when he
Yep.
arrives at home that day. He loses his only companion, his cat Sandy, when she's found dead on the floor.
It's not his cat, it's his grandma's cat. I see, these are the other little things, right? I don't know. You have to pay attention to the movie. It's like you got to pay attention to it, right? Like he's in his grandma's house. It's his grandma that has a cat clock, not him. It's his grandma. The cat is not his. It's supposed to let you know that the cat is not his. The cat is his grandma's. He inherited her house and the furniture and the cat. It's not his.
And in the very next moment, after crying about his cat's death in the most cold, isolated, descending shot where we see the title of the film, the camera cuts to him laying in bed alone, looking at Instagram photos of Nikki.
Can you imagine? I mean, the other reason that you know it's not his cat is because he doesn't give a fuck that the cat died. Can you imagine? I mean, come on. If I don't even want, no, I don't even want to talk about it. I don't even want to think about it. You guys will not see me probably for like an entire 6 months if anything happened to my cats. I'm not just gonna move on. What, my cat isn't just gonna like die and I'm the cause, right? I'm not gonna be the one to blame for my cat's death and then I just climb in bed and start, looking through Instagram photos. I'm not gonna do that. No. That's how you know that it's not his cat. It's not his cat. It's his grandma's cat.
And this is the perfect intro to Bear's character before Nikki is even introduced because it captures this modern phenomenon between loneliness and attraction. I was reading into many articles from psychologists.
Tommy's girl. Yeah, but you don't see anything. You don't actually see anything. You see what is very clearly a prop. It doesn't. The body of the cat doesn't even look like a cat. I think that's why it was so easy for me to look past it, right? As a cat lover, I watched it and I'm like, oh, okay, the cat died, but it doesn't even look like a real cat. So I didn't, you very clearly see that it's a stuffed animal, and you don't see the cat dying, you don't see it suffering or anything. So don't worry about that. You don't see any of that. You just see the cat is already dead. And it's a very clearly stuffed animal. And the way that the angle shows you, it doesn't really show you too much. So for those of you who are afraid of seeing an animal died, you don't see her die. You just see the cat is already dead. And it's a very clear stuffed animal.
About the loneliness epidemic and our desperation for companionship. And I want to share one
Right, yeah,
article that
exactly.
does a really good job of starting this conversation in relation to this film. So the article is from the Monterey Behavioral Health Treatment Center titled Limerence, When a Crush
Oh,
Becomes an
Tommy's
Obsession.
girl.
And to put it simply, limerence is the feeling of a highly intense, obsessive crush, where it nearly becomes the only thing that matters to you, often stemming from low self-esteem,
Yep.
a lack of purpose, insecurity, and loneliness, which are
Yeah. Limerence. Yeah, Tommy's girl. Yeah, just keep saying to yourself out loud, the cat is fine, the cat is fine, the cat is fine. This is just a stuffed animal. It's not a real animal. Like I said, it doesn't even look real. All right, but look at this. The feeling of high intense obsessive crush where it nearly becomes the only thing that matters to you, often stemming from low self-esteem, lack of purpose, insecurity, and loneliness. Chris Watts. Yeah, look at that. Highly intensive, obsessive crush where it nearly becomes the only thing that matters to you, often stemming from low self-esteem, lack of purpose, insecurity, and loneliness. All of them represent Chris Watts. All of them. Every single one. Or, you guys can disagree with me if you like, but shit, I don't. I see Chris Watts throughout the entire movie.
Are all things Bear is experiencing. And there's one specific line from this article that perfectly captures why Bear has a crush on Nikki specifically. Someone who grew up feeling emotionally unseen may become intensely attached to any person who makes them feel deeply valued, desired, or emotionally safe.
Holy shit! Oh my God, Chris in a nutshell. Exactly. This is Chris fucking Watts, Twistifer, in a nutshell. Look at this. Who grew up feeling emotionally unseen. What did this guy do? He would lock himself up in the bathroom and cry and beg for forgiveness. For what did he do exactly, right? What did Cindy do? Oh, my son is crying in the bathroom. I'll let him just cry. Oh, he's such a good man. What? He was unseen by his own family. They become intensely attached to any person who makes them feel deeply valued, desired, or emotionally safe. Yeah, he became attached to Shanann in the beginning, and then he became detached when he realized, oh, I'm not seen anymore because we have kids. The second that Bella and Cece were born, he no longer was the center of her attention. The center of her attention became Bella and Cece. Is that not what we know about the case, right? In this case, he became kind of neglected because the babies were born and now all of their attention went to the girls. This is where he became intensely attached to Nicole Kessinger because she showed him that value and that desire, and he felt safe after that. But it was only after he no longer liked Shanann anymore, right? So this feeling for Shanann wore off in the same way that we're going to see Bear and how his feelings also wear off because these two men are emotionally unstable, right? They are emotionally unavailable. They are empty shells of human beings. And they can't feel and they don't give love. Remember, Chris Watts was Googling, how do you know when you love someone? How does it feel to be loved? He doesn't fucking know what that means. Why is he Googling it? Because he doesn't know. He doesn't know what it's like to be loved. And so this is what we see here in this exact movie. Bear doesn't know what it's like to feel love, and he doesn't know how to love.
So to put everything together, if we find someone physically attractive and we feel like that person is the only person who really sees us, showing us validation, affection, excitement, and some emotional intimacy, that is the perfect recipe for us to develop a very powerful crush. And
Yes, a very powerful crush or obsession that will lead you to annihilate your whole family to be with that crush. You will do anything for that crush because it becomes so obsessive, so intense to the point where you can't let it go. That's crazy, man. Shit. Whoops.
those are all things that Nikki offers to Bear. As I said before, she's the only one who was nice to him, and she's the only one who called when his grandma died. And when we see them together, she smiles at him in a very cheeky, personal way. She touches and teases him, and she tells him he's the only one she can be so open with. There is also Sarah, who clearly has a crush on Bear, but Sarah is much more of a quiet admirer, with a tougher shell over her more genuine feelings. So it would be harder for Bear to develop his crush on her in
Yes. Yes. See, this is another character. She is yeah, she's definitely an important character. And I think the important thing about her is that she is available, right? She is very clearly showing that she is interested in Bear, but he is not at all interested in her. He's like, I don't want her. I want the fantasy. And the fantasy was Nikki, right? The character Nikki.
instead of Nikki. So ultimately, Bear's crush on Nikki stems from his loneliness, insecurity, and lack of personal direction. And unfortunately, sometimes those feelings can evolve into something a lot darker. Desperation.
Lack of personal direction. Did you guys hear that? Who else had a lack of personal direction? Chris Watts. His direction was mostly dictated by what his family wanted him to do and what Shanann wanted him to do. Let's go ahead and analyze this part real quick. So Chris Watts went to NASCAR, right? He went to NASCAR Tech Why? Because his family wanted him to. Because his family would feel really proud of him if he went to NASCAR Tech and became, the what is it, the car guy, right? Or what is a mechanic, right? And so he did so because it was just part of what he needed to do to make his family proud. Everything else thereafter, all of his decisions were based on what Shanann wanted, right? It is what benefited the relationship as a whole. She is the one who said, "Let's move to Colorado," and he's like, "All right, cool, let's do it." She said, "Hey, let's go work here," and they did. She said, "Hey, let's go work there," and then they did, right? So every single decision that was made here was because of Shanann. She's the one who decided, let's have babies, and he agreed. Let's have another baby, he agreed. I think the only one that he asked for truly was Nico. With everything else, he kind of just went with the flow. And again, this is a man who lacks direction himself. Shanann was the opposite. She did not lack direction. She knew exactly what she wanted to do. Even if what she was doing was probably not the right direction, which is an MLM, regardless, she still knew that she wanted to be a boss. She knew that she wanted to own a business, all the things that she was into. She knew that that's what she wanted to do. He didn't. He's like, I'm just here for the ride. He had no real direction. He didn't really show interest in anything. He's just working, right? He's working to pay the bills, working to provide for the family, but he doesn't have any real ambition in the way that Shanann had. And it's the same here. Bear has no real ambition. You will see that he's okay with working at the music store, right? It's a tiny music store. It's not even a big one, right? It's not even, God, what's the big music store? They refer to it here. Guitar. Is it the guitar store? Guitar shop, something like that? But yeah, he works at a very small store. He doesn't really have any ambition. He's like, yeah, I guess I'll work here for the rest of my life until I die. Right? And Nikki doesn't, right? Nikki does not want to work in the fucking store for the rest of her life. She has ambition. She has drive. She wants to be a writer. And he's okay with just staying there for the rest of his life, right? So again, we have a man with very little ambition chasing after a woman that has ambition, has drive. So we have, yet again, an introvert chasing a type A personality. Introvert chasing type A personality.
Desperation, cowardice, and a victim mentality. And that victim mentality sparks new, darker feelings of resentment and fear. And those new feelings allow young men to begin to justify acts of manipulation and exploitation against young women. So let's continue to explore how these symptoms of mental and emotional weakness can eventually reach the level of cruelty we see in this film. Theme number 2, love story versus romance.
Yep.
When Bear and Nikki are driving home, pretty early on in the film, Nikki says the reason she's leaving her job is because she's writing a story, and she needs to feel love to write it. And then Bear says, so it's a romance. And Nikki says, it's not a romance, it's a love story.
Mm-hmm. Right? This is the part I was talking about. She wants to be a writer. She wants to do more with her life, and she wants to quit the job, because they're coworkers. Nikki and Bear are coworkers. Isn't that interesting? Fucking A, right? Holy shit. Oh my God. Yeah. Coworkers. Her name is Nikki. Yeah. But anyway. Yeah, they're coworkers, and she wants to leave, and she's like, I want to be a writer. And she's saying, well, the only reason that I can write, or the only way that I can write this love story is if I feel it. And he's like, okay, so it's a romance? And she's like, no, it's a love story. Notice that there's even a difference in definition, right? He's calling it a romance, and she's calling it a love story.
And then Bear asks,
So they don't even see eye to eye with what love means for them, right? It's very different. She wants love, he wants romance.
isn't that the same thing? And then Nikki just pauses for the longest time and never actually answers the question. And that long pause emphasizes how important that question is. The question establishes the thematic difference between Bear's sense of love and Nikki's sense of love.
Yep.
And here's what I mean. Romances focus more on the fantasy and ideals of love.
Yes. Romance is the fantasy and the idea. That is all that romance is. A love story is genuine love and care and respect for another person. These two were in lust, right? They were in lust. That's what this was. This is not a love story. This was lust. This is a romance. And so again, right? That's what Bear thinks love is, a romance. Similar to what Chris thinks love is, which is also romance. Oh, let's just play Twister all day. Yeah, let's go to the Bandamere Speedway and then go camping and then play Twister again. That's what he thinks love is. On the contrary, right? Shanann thought of love as love, not romance, but love, real, genuine care for one another, right? She's asking him, what do you want me to cook for you when I get back home? What vegetable do you want? Hey, let's go to Aspen together. Let's rekindle our love for one another. That's love. He wanted romance. That's all he really knows is romance.
Usually with good-looking characters, traditional story beats, and a happy ending. Love stories focus more on the reality of love, the more human, less pretty elements of love where the leads are usually more complex and flawed, and the ending is often bittersweet and even sometimes tragic. So Bear's concept of love is defined by the romance genre. When we have a crush, we turn people into the ideal version of themselves, and we get swept up in our imagined connection to them. And we begin fantasizing about a whole happy life with them. This is how he sees Nikki. This is why he symbolically can't tell the difference between a romance and a love story. Nikki sees Bear very differently and defines love by the love story genre. She hasn't developed a fantasy out of him and is well aware of his complexity and flaws and shortcomings as a partner. His timidness, his insecurity, his lack of drive, his indecisiveness, and so on. And those exact flaws are what limits Nikki's attraction to him. And this brings me to the conversation of whether Nikki likes Bear back or not, if he has a chance. So as you may know, if you've seen my first video on this movie, I pretty definitively said that Bear had absolutely no chance with Nikki. She doesn't like him at all. But the second time I saw this,
Yeah. This is crazy. The first time I watched this movie, I said, there is no way that she likes him. And then the second time I watched the movie, I listened to the dialogue and I paid very close attention to their conversations. And she is hinting that she is interested, but she's hesitant because of his lack of drive. She definitely has feelings for him, but he just doesn't display them. And of course, she's not going to make herself vulnerable to a man that isn't want to tell her, how he really feels. So she's not going to do that. But yeah, the first time I watched, no chance. The second time, it's subtle, but it kind of tells you that she was pretty interested in him. But anyway, let's go ahead and listen to what he says.
This film, I gained a very new perspective, also thanks to people in the comments. And I want to break this down thoroughly because I think this dynamic between Bear and Nikki is crucial for the rest of the film and the rest of this analysis. And I'll include quotes from the actors because at this point in time, they have now given their answers on whether Nikki actually liked Bear back. So let's unpack this. So on one side of the argument, Nikki shows a lot of signs that she only sees Bear as a friend. She kind of treats him like a brother. She says ew when Ian suggests she's Bear's girlfriend, and she enthusiastically hints to Bear that Sarah likes him. But on the other side of the argument, Nikki gives some potential hints that she might be giving Bear a chance to make a move. For example, she says, when I have a crush on a guy, no one knows, as she smirks at him. And she asks, do you like me? Because if you do, now's the time to tell me. And when she hinted at Sarah liking him, she didn't actually encourage him to go for it at all. She just asked if he had feelings for Sarah.
Thank you, Psychedelic. Yeah, I love this guy. Cool. Yeah, going to restart after and give y'all both a like. Yeah. I like him. His name is Lucas Blue. I've never seen any of his videos, so yeah, please guys, go ahead and give him a like. Lucas Blue, he's doing a really good job. But yeah, I hate how things are directed today. So corny and sloppy. Yeah. Dragon Onion. Yeah, they fall in love with a version of the person they created in their mind. Exactly. Yeah, they're falling in love with what they think is, again, it's all a fantasy, is who they think the person would be like with them. But the reality is completely different, right? It's always different, obviously, because it's life and we all have flaws. And some of us, some of us are better at dealing with conflict. Some of us are not, right? So it's all different, right? I mean, as humans, we are very complex. Not everyone is going to be perfect. And I think this is what happens is that people paint this vision, right? Or this idea of someone. And when they end up realizing, oh, this person actually has more depth, or, oh, this person has flaws, then they kind of become disillusioned, right? They almost become discouraged. They're like, oh shit, I thought this person was perfect, but they're not, right? It's like, well, that's because we're people. We're all human. No one's gonna be perfect unless it's in your fantasy. That's the only way someone can be perfect is if it's in your fantasy. Anyway, let's continue.
Sarah as well, as if she's just trying to gauge where his feelings are at between Sarah and herself. And when I did my
Yep.
research on the actors' answers, I felt like I could very comfortably and confidently solidify my perspective. So here's what the two leads said. So Michael Johnson said, someone asked us, what if Bear had told her? Do you think you guys would have had a shot? And I was about to say, no way. And Indy, who plays Nikki, said, yeah, I think they might have had a go at it. And I was like, wow. And here's what Indy Navarrete said specifically. I do think that had Bear been honest in that car scene at the top of the film about how he felt about Nikki, that Nikki and him might have had a go at it. Because she's hinting a little bit, and he's hinting a little bit. And I think the sad thing is, we never really get an answer to
We don't. We don't get an answer to it. And this is the saddest part about the film. The first time I watched it, I'm like, oh, it's fucked up because he took away her autonomy and she never even liked him. The second time I watched it, it was worse because it shows you that she would have actually given him a chance and he still just took her autonomy anyway. He would have had a chance with her the right way, the normal, natural way, giving her the option to say no to you. But she didn't, right? He did not give her the option to say no because he was afraid of her answer. But had he put aside his insecurity and his fear and his low self-esteem and actually given her the shot, then maybe they could have worked. But again, I think the whole, I will say that the rest of the movie kind of tells you that it wouldn't have worked anyway. Even if she had said yes to him and he had given her a shot, I think the movie shows you that the relationship wouldn't have worked because he is not right in the head. He's very depressed and he's isolated and he's lonely. And because of that, you can see that the relationship would have been very codependent. And codependent relationships are very, very toxic. And so I think that even had she said yes to him and she had given him a chance, I think the movie shows us that the relationship would have been toxic anyway because he's just not mentally there.
that question. So ultimately, it is completely subjective, but I feel like Nikki's take ties in the best thematically with what this movie is trying to say, and she's also the one playing that character. But here's what I mean specifically. Everything about her before the curse is non-verbally saying to Bear, just be a man for me for once. I almost like you, and I'd like to give it a try, so help me out. But Bear's lack of confidence, his indecisiveness, and his insecurity, as I said before, are the exact traits that make him ultimately undesirable and unsuitable. And as we now get into the darker side of this movie, those exact traits make him feel like a victim. And this film is just another example of the classic victim to villain story in reality.
Right. Tommy's Girl. Yeah, I was waiting for this little part to read this. Chris wanted Shanann with her lupus so that he could look like a hero to everyone else. Then she started to get stronger and became her own person, and he started resenting her for that, and he wanted her totally dependent on him. I agree. I completely agree. Remember that Chris Watts, let's go ahead and put up his stupid face here. Chris Watts also said that in the early relationship that he allowed Shanann to sleep on his leg. Do you guys remember that? And he would just sit there. And even though he had to pee, he wouldn't move. He resented her for that. He resented her because he couldn't get up to pee. But he was pretending to be the nice guy, right? So inside, he's really resentful. But to the outside world, he looks like the nice guy. It is the nice guy trope. It is a trope. And this is what is happening here, right? It's the same thing. Same thing. So it makes you seem like he's the victim because he's so weak and insecure. Being weak and insecure doesn't make you a victim. If anything, it makes you more of a villain because that is when the craziness, the insecurities come out and it makes you treat other people like shit.
Insecure young men who feel neglected and betrayed. So let's explore the darker side of Bear in theme number 3, the harmless predator. So since the film has been out for about a week now, I'm seeing a lot of conversation online about Bear as a person, whether people feel sympathetic to him or people see him as simply a bad person. And overall, the general consensus that I'm getting is that in the beginning, people found him to be a sympathetic character. But as the film went along, they realized more and more that he was a terrible person. So in this third section of the video,
Guys, I knew he was a terrible person the second that he put his grandma's cat in a trash bag. That's when I knew he was terrible. I was like, who puts the cat that they love in a trash bag? And I think maybe even before that, I thought he was a little off, right? Before that, when I saw the pills on the floor and the fact that the cat poisoned itself because of his neglect, I thought he was already shitty. I'm like, dude, you couldn't even pick up the fucking pills? You couldn't put them up on the counter, close the lid so that the cat doesn't get to it? Maybe he left that out on purpose. You guys will see. You guys let me know what you think. Watch the movie and then let me know. Do you think he did it on purpose? Did he leave the pills there so that the cat can eat it and the cat can poison herself? Or was it really an accident? But regardless, even if it was an accident, why are you putting the cat in the trash bag? That's weird. That's weird. No. Never.
I want to go through his gradual transition over the film from innocent and sympathetic all the
Yes, Tommy's girl. Oh, Tommy's girl. I know. I'm like ruining it for you. I'm telling you, oh, it's not that bad. And then I tell you something, you're like, oh no. You're like, no, not the trash bag. Girl. It's not bad though. It's not bad. Okay. It's not that bad. Again, it's not a real cat. Okay. It is a stuffed animal, and it's very obvious that it's a stuffed animal. I'll have to walk out of the room and mute the cat scene. Hey, it's okay, Tommy's girl. If it's okay if you have to. I mean, you'll miss the most important part of his character flaws. But if you have to, I completely understand. I understand. I mean, I had that visceral reaction too when I saw him put the cat in the trash bag. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? That is when I knew, right? I'm like, no. He's not good. Good people don't put cats in trash bags. I don't know. Maybe some people do. I don't know. But those people don't love cats. I just can't imagine that. I really can't.
way to abusive and controlling. The psychology behind it, with insight specifically from the filmmaker himself. So the first question I would ask is, where did this transition start? What was the first sign? And in this quote from the director, Curry Barker, we'll learn that the first sign is when Bear makes the wish. Everyone kind of treats the One Wish Willow like it's this cursed thing, and I understand why, because of the context of the movie. But the thing is, the thing that Bear wishes for is cursed. Like taking away someone's autonomy, taking away someone's self, that's cursed. Like it's just the wish itself is a very cursed thing. So ultimately, what we can read here is that Bear's initial wish is the seed to his eventual heartlessness. And this just shows us that as the film goes along, we witness a very insecure and weak person devolve into someone who's neglectful and abusive. The gradual worsening of the curse only reflects the gradual worsening and devolution of Bear as a human being. So of course, one thing to be very clear about is Bear doesn't know the One Wish Willow is actually gonna work when he makes the wish. It's just a frivolous, desperate, pathetic thought said out loud. And even when the curse begins to work, Bear thinks Nikki's just under the influence of maybe alcohol or drugs.
Which is already bad in itself, right? It is already terrible. I mean, come on. He's already taking advantage of her because he thinks that she's under the influence. Yeah, the whole time he thinks that she's under the influence of something, a drug or alcohol, and he still doesn't care.
From that night. And to be fair, there's an element of respect he has at first. He gives her his bed as he prepares to sleep on the couch, and only sleeps next to her when she begs him to sleep next to her. However, soon enough, it becomes crystal clear to Bear that this curse is working. Or at the very least, Nikki is a victim of some serious mental health issues. But Bear follows through and keeps the relationship going. And as I mentioned earlier in this video, Bear figures out ways in his own head to justify his selfishness. Deep feelings of loneliness and insecurity lead to a victim mentality, and that victim mentality allows for the gradual.
Yeah, it's a victim mentality. That's exactly what is happening. He is so sad and so lonely. He would rather be living like this, right? With a woman who has no control over her body and her mind. She has lost all her autonomy. He'd rather have her, right? She is the new pet. She is the new cat. And he neglects her as the same way that he neglected his grandma's cat. So the thing that he wanted the most, which is, I want something to love me more than anything in the fucking world, that could have been the cat. My cats, they love me more than anything in this fucking world. And I love them more than anything in this fucking world, right? They love me. And so I would never neglect them. It is the same thing that we see here. He neglected the cat and then he got a replacement, which is her. And so now he no longer feels lonely. Look at him. He's watching movies with someone. But then he starts neglecting her, just like he neglected the cat. Again, layers, right? Layers. And all of the cat references throughout the movie, you guys will see it.
Justification of more and more cruelty. So no matter what Nicky does, he can tell himself, this is happening to me and I'm doing the right thing by trying to make it work. And if I have to control her and hide her and fix her, I'll do that because I should. And deep down, Bear knows the real right thing to do is to get her the help she needs and recognize she's not in the right state to be with him. It's the same reason he says lines like, just don't do that, and just be normal again, and just be Nicky. These lines could be pulled directly from a real life abusive and manipulative partner who's unaccepting of their partner's humanity and imperfection, only interested in an idea of them, their ideal idea of them, as we discussed in theme number 2. Just be Nicky metaphorically kind of means only be what I want you to be. It's also why when Bear calls the One Wish Willow Company, he asks for them to alter the wish before canceling the wish, still hoping to control her autonomy as much as he can. And then we get the line from the rap on the phone. Just because you made it happen doesn't mean it isn't real. Sounds to me like you have a moral obligation to be there for her. And this is exactly what Bear is ignoring. In reality, the rep is saying, if someone has become attached to you because of your methods of manipulation, they're still attached to you, and it is your fault. And the moral thing to do is to help them the best way you can, either by seeking the appropriate support or making an honest change in yourself. And director Curry Barker even comments on how Bear uses his nice guy persona to justify his cruel intentions. Bear plays into this kind of, he's a nice guy. He plays into that. It's like, I know that I come off as a shy, nice guy, and I'm going to play into that. I designed it to not be too in your face, like you have to feel this way. I never want to point the camera at an answer of like, hey, this guy's bad, but you know, the writing's on the wall.
And I think this is the scariest part about everything is that, you know, we have people who are watching this movie at the movie theater or on Peacock or something, and they still don't get it. Even, you know, you don't have to point the camera at the bad guy to know that he's a bad guy. You should just know that he's bad because of the way that he is acting with someone else's control over them. Right? Just because they're nice and they're smiling on camera and they're on the, you know, front porch interview and it's 9 News and he's like, "Oh, I want my family back." Yeah, just because he looks like that doesn't mean that he didn't kill his family. I looked right past that shit, right? I look right past his face. I'm like, oh, he's definitely trying to play the nice guy, but there's something wrong with him. He did something to his family. And it's the same here. It's the same here. The guy that the director is showing you, he's showing you the nice guy. He's showing you what everybody sees. Your coworker, your friend, your neighbor, right? You go to work every day and you see your coworker every day and you're like, oh yeah, he's a nice guy. You don't know that because behind closed doors, or if you were to get into a relationship with that person, they can be extremely manipulative. You just don't know who you're dealing with. But the thing is that when people watch this movie, and even though the director is clearly showing you that everything that Bear is doing is wrong because he knows that he has taken away her autonomy, they still think that he's not bad. And that's fucking scary. Again, no wonder we have victim blamers. No wonder we have an entire side in the Chris Watts case who thinks that he is innocent or that think he didn't do anything or that blame the woman, right? The woman. They blame Shanann for everything that happened to her. This is why. It's because those kinds of people also can't see that Bear is the villain. They'll probably side with Bear and be like, oh yeah, no, he's definitely the victim. The evil one is the one who's being manipulated and assaulted constantly. Yeah, they don't see it. I think this is scarier. You know, I think this is way scarier. If society can't figure out who the bad people are just because they're smiling at you, then no wonder we have all of these problems. Ugh.
All. And this quote is just another example of the young male
See ya, Eric. Have a great weekend. Have a good weekend, and yeah, take it easy at your other job. Yeah. More like he would magically appear on the patio meowing at me. Aw, the baby. Oh no.
victim mentality used to justify cruelty in a relationship. It's what allows him to go as far as even having sex with Nikki when he knows she's no longer in control. And it was that scene, for me, that solidified Bear as not only cowardly and insecure.
Tommy Zero, your question is, so this woman Bear cast a spell on, she did not know something was wrong with her? No, she didn't. Because just like an abuse victim doesn't know that there's anything wrong, because it's not that there's anything wrong with her, is that there's something wrong with the abuser, right? So basically, right? So what's happening here is not she's not herself anymore, right? That's the wish. So when he makes the wish, she becomes someone that is not Nikki. So there is no point in the movie where she is thinking and having these thoughts of like, oh, there's something wrong with me. No, because she doesn't realize that there's anything wrong with her, because he made the wish for her to love him, and so that is all that she feels now, right? There is no consciousness when it comes to who she is now. And it's very similar to victims. When someone is being gaslit, in the example, this is going to be a very sad example, but Gabby Petito, for example, right? When someone is so brutally gaslit and manipulated and controlled by somebody that they think that they love, they don't know that. You know, if we are going to look at the Gabby Petito case, she was kind of questioning it, but she's not blaming herself, right? She is, I'm sorry. She's blaming herself. She's not even blaming Brian, right? She's the one like, oh, I don't know, like, I'm so sorry, right? She's the one saying sorry when it should be him, because she doesn't even realize that she is in a manipulative, fucked up relationship where he keeps gaslighting her. When you're gaslit, you don't know that you're being gaslit. So you can't even start to question what is wrong with me, because you're being driven to insanity by somebody else. Right, yes. Yes, Tommy's girl. Yeah, she was totally taken over by him. Yes. Exactly. She was completely overtaken by him. Zero consent. She has no consent anymore. Yeah, in a way, exactly, Shelley. In a way, she was conditioned. And this is what the movie's showing you, by adding horror and adding One Wish Willows. But in reality, it's just showing you how a relationship can start looking innocent and then very, very fast just move into something more sinister, like control, having full, complete control over another person's decisions, the people that they can talk to, who you can call. Oh, you can't go see your friends anymore. That is a complete control over somebody's body and their autonomy, and even how they think, what they wear even. Oh, you can't wear that, right? And so he has completely taken over her mind, right? And so that is basically what the movie is trying to tell you. It is, it is a metaphor to toxic relationships where the victim doesn't realize that she's being victimized, and where the abuser, right, or the perpetrator thinks that he's still a good guy. It's just fucked. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and you have no idea. Yeah, you have no idea. Hey, TK. How's it going? Welcome back.
But also a predator. And then with that realization, it just clicked for me that that solidified Bear as not only cowardly and insecure, but also a predator. And then with that realization, it just clicked for me that that's why his name is Bear. A bear
Yeah, it's because he's a predator.
is one of those classic animals in history and pop culture that's regarded as innocent and warm-hearted, but in reality is literally one of the most dangerous and relentless predators in the world. And it ties nicely into Barker's description of Bear using this shy guy demeanor as a method of disguise for his true dangerousness. And on that note of classic children's stories, in my second viewing, I was able to re-watch Nikki's Hansel and Gretel story monologue. And in my first video, I caught how it was an incestuous fan fiction.
Yeah, here, let's go ahead and I just want to keep looking into the bear analogy. So for me, it's the versus bear debate that we see online. If you guys know about this, so it's the viral social media thought experiment where women are asked whether they would rather be stuck in the woods with a random man or a random bear. Many women choose the bear, sparking a large online discussion about personal safety, predictability, and lived experiences with harassment. Right, and so this is why many women would rather choose the bear than the man. Predictability. Supporters of this choice note that a bear acts like an animal, its behaviors and its triggers, right? Food. No social judgment. If a person is hurt by a wild animal, people will view it as a tragic accident and fear of the unknown. Many women share personal stories of being harassed, followed, or hurt by men. With a random man, his intentions are completely unknown. Right. I think the many reasons, right, women, why we would choose a bear over a random man in the woods is because a bear is predictable. A bear, a female bear will attack you if the cubs are around. If you threatened her babies, if you threaten her bears, she will become overly protective and then try to attack you because she thinks that you're going to attack the babies, right? That is predictable, natural behavior of a bear, and it's understandable. She's trying to protect her babies. When it comes to regular bears, like a male bear, as a hiker, there's this thing that you carry around with you, and it's called bear bells. You carry around big bells that go cling cling cling. You tie them to your backpack so that when you're walking, you're going clink 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 clink. Bears don't like that noise, right? Bears are actually very afraid of people. They're more afraid of us than we are of them. Okay, because they're wild animals. And so you carry those bear bells around to let the bear know that you're walking it in its way. And so that way, when the bear hears you, they walk the opposite direction, right? That's what you do with bears. Bears don't attack you just for the sake of attack. Bears don't murder and torture and right? Assault women for sport. Bears are natural animals. They are protective of their environment, they're protective of their food and protective of their babies, of their cubs. But when it comes to a man, that is a completely different story. Men are unpredictable. Like you can't just carry around bear bells and expect the man to hear it and be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go the other way. No, no, no. If there's bells coming and then the person hears it, then they're probably gonna be like, huh, I'm curious, what is that? And then they're gonna come out. Yeah, exactly. The other thing is that if a bear attacks you and eats you, that's all they're gonna do. They're gonna attack you and eat you, or probably just murder you and leave you there. You know, there's this thing called necrophilia. You should look it up. Yeah. So we have things like necrophilia when it comes to humans, men, where those things bears don't do. All right. Bears do not engage in necrophilia. Bears don't engage in torture for sport. They're not going to torture a person and get some kind of arousal or happiness for it. No, they're just bears. They're just going to kill you. And then they're like, taste you and be like, oh, this person tastes like shit. And then they're just going to walk away. And then they're going to find berries and eat berries instead. That's not what, strangers, right? Stranger danger, or just, statistically, um, homicides and all kinds of violent offenses the majority of them are committed by men. And so when we are asked, would you rather be in the woods with a man or would you rather be in the woods with a bear? I'd rather be in the woods with a bear because a bear is more predictable. I can just bring my bear bells, I can bring my bear spray, and I'm just going to stay away from the cubs and I'll be safe. I know that my body, my corpse, isn't going to be necrophiliac, right? Or touched afterwards by a pervert. Or, I'm not going to be tortured for 3 days straight, possibly even longer, for someone's entertainment, right? The bear is not going to do that shit. And so this is why I think the point of the movie is that his name is Bear, because he is supposed to be the predictable one because he's nice. He's a sweet guy. He's the nice guy trope. So his name is Bear because you would choose the bear. Wouldn't you choose the bear, right, over, I don't know, someone that displays to be really wild and unpredictable? Yeah, right? You would choose someone who displays very very calm demeanor, someone who is reliable. You can kind of boss them around, right? You can be like, "Hey, can you do this for me?" and they do it. Very predictable. He is predictable. And that's why the guy's name is Bear, in my opinion. Again, this is just my analogy, you guys. Yeah, to me, yeah, to me, it's very, very clear that the analogy and that his name is Bear is because of that, right? The bear analogy.
where Nikki describes Gretel lusting for her brother Hansel, which paralleled Nikki lusting for Bear, who she also originally saw as a brother. However, on this second viewing, there is a line where she mentions Hansel has chosen to be with Gretel sexually many times before, subtly highlighting that Bear has more control over the situation than you might first think. And another scene that really confirms Bear's true insecurity and cruelty is when the cursed version of Nikki is sleeping, and the real Nikki emerges to speak to Bear. The real Nikki begs Bear to kill her because the pain of the curse is so torturous. And then Bear asks, "What's so bad about being with me?" And then the real Nikki says,
This is the worst part of the whole movie. Her voice comes out and she says, "Can you please just kill me?" And he asks, "What's so bad about being with me?" Wow. She's obviously unhappy. She's being tortured. She's fucking miserable. And his first question is, "What about me, though?" Oh, I see that you're unhappy and that you don't want to be with me and that everything I'm doing to you is against your will. What's wrong with being with me, though?
"I've never been with you, Bear. Just kill me." And in that moment, Bear's ego is so damaged and he's so full of resentment that he abandons her, knowing how much pain she's in. And it's so
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, you know what? You just hurt my feelings. I'm gonna abandon you to go see another woman." God, the guy is such a piece of shit. Again, I don't understand these people that watch this movie and think that he is a victim. What kind of movie are you watching? Or what kind of person are you? Because I cannot understand how anybody can sympathize with such an evil fucking person. You know that he's evil. But again, there's people out there that are skewed in the head and they just don't see him as evil. They're like, no, 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 no. He's the victim. How? How? So
It's only
weird.
when Nikki's condition is so severe that Bear believes it's no longer salvageable. And only then does he try to cancel out the wish with Ian's help. And after that doesn't work, in the finale of this film, when Bear is on the verge of taking his own life, you would think this is an act of selflessness. But really,
Mm. The ending, guys. Yeah, the act of selflessness. This is the part where I'm like, oh, okay. I hate the guy, and he's definitely still evil in my eyes, but maybe he's redeemable. Psych.
it's not. It's the realization that with Nikki at a point of no return, Bear is completely alone again, with no personal purpose and essentially no reason to live. And even when things get this hopeless, Bear's cowardice prevails once again as he attempts to vomit back up the medication he
Yes, the guy is so garbage.
just swallowed. And only when he loses his autonomy, when Nikki snaps the new One Wish Willow, can he finally go through with an act of some courage and morality, retaining the pills, losing his life, and lifting Nikki's curse. A decision he could
Exactly,
never
Shelley.
make for himself.
Yeah, he's a fucker and I haven't even seen the film. Yeah. Well, yes. He's definitely evil, very selfish, self centered. All he cares about himself. And he has no purpose in life. So, he doesn't want to unalive himself. So instead of doing that, he just wants to force a woman to be with him so that she can keep him company because he's so sad and alone. Guy, find a hobby. Find a hobby. Do something for yourself. Go swimming. Learn how to paint. I don't know. Go for a run. Play basketball. Do something.
The same reason, from the beginning, he would never have the real girl of his dreams. All right, this is my analysis. And before I go, I just want to say that I feel like in the comments in my last video, there was a little more noise than usual. And I just want to say to all the people that really challenged me or really disagreed with me, I have to say thank you. Because whether you agree or disagree or feel like I didn't capture everything or feel like I did cover everything, I really feel like all of it just gives me a stronger and broader perspective on the piece of art itself. So
Yeah, guys, yeah. So, right. So the same thing, right? Same reason that I wanted you guys to watch it. I mean, I can't remember who it was. You guys told me to watch it last week. But yeah, the same reason that you guys wanted me to watch it, I wanted you guys to watch it because I just want to see your perspective. Are there some things that I missed, maybe some things that I didn't catch, things that you caught, or I don't know, we can even talk about why is it that people see him as the victim still, right? Um this movie is very, very good because it creates discussion, a very much needed discussion around autonomy and the fact that that we have this nice guy trope, right? I think it's very important to touch on why just because somebody is an or displays themselves as a nice guy doesn't necessarily mean that that's the case, but also understanding what it looks like when you take someone's autonomy. It doesn't always have to be aggressive or violent. It can be very, very subtle, and the victim might not even know it. And so this is why this movie, I really wanted to make this live stream and really talk about it and really dissect it and talk about the layers because my God, guys, holy shit, this happens all the time. All the time. I mean, as we know, people are murdered left and right every single day. And the majority of female victims are victims of their partners, intimate partners, right? So most homicide victims are victims of a partner, right? They are not murdered by strangers in the street or in the alley. It is partner violence, DV, and other types of very sinister and subtle ways of manipulating and controlling people. And so I love that this movie is creating the dialogue and that we are able to discuss it and really talk about all the nuances and just how we need to be a little more observant, right? I think that's basically it. We just need to be more observant. Just because somebody shows that they're, cute and like, oh, I'm a nice guy, doesn't mean that they're nice. And it also helps to identify when someone is a victim, right? I think that's also the very important part about this movie. And you guys will see that the other characters in the movie don't see her as the victim either. They see him as the victim. And I think that's very important about what it says about our society, because it's the same thing that we see with Chris Watts. We have an entire group of people that don't see him, even though he confessed to murdering his family, they still don't see him as the victim at all. Even though that's factual that he murdered his family, they still don't see him as a victim. So you guys, you have to watch this movie. Yes, please do watch this movie. What is SM? Wait, what? SM? Did I say it's probably SA? Did I say SA? It's probably SA. I say SA because YouTube, you know. But yeah, SA is assault. All right, guys. I ended the poll. What's your favorite horror subgenre? Psych, right? So psychology, horror, 57%. 17% said supernatural, 13% said slasher, and 13 said horror comedy. Thank you guys so much. Yeah, it shields the perpetrators. Yeah, exactly. Unchecked the shelters too. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. Yeah, it does. It shields the perpetrators. And yeah, people just tend to view women as the more flawed characters and the more flawed individuals, and then the nice guys are usually the victims, and feel sorry for him because he's being bossed around, he's been emasculated. So what? Like, really, work on yourself. Come on, work on yourself. You don't go around murdering people just because you feel emasculated. You don't go around treating your partner like crap just because you're insecure. Work on it. Work on it. Work on yourself. But anyway, guys, all right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining the live stream and hanging out with me on this Friday night. Go ahead and watch the movie, guys. Please, please, please watch. And let me know. Let me know in the comments. Roxy, tricky girl. What's going on? Yeah, let me know in the comments of this live stream here on this channel, Rabbit Hole Rocks Live. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you catch something that I didn't catch, especially looking into the cat references. I think, for that one, I just want to see what you guys see, especially Tommy's Girl. Let me know, Tommy's Girl. I know that you have, this. I feel it too. I know. I feel it too. Whenever there's an animal that gets harmed on camera, I feel I definitely get it. But please, please, please let me know what you think. Yeah, you guys. Shelly, please watch it. KTD, watch it. Josie, watch it. Soil Blue, please watch it. TK, watch it. You guys, all you guys, watch it. Eric, you're not here anymore, but watch it. um, yeah, of course. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys so, so much for being here, keeping me company, and talking about something completely different. And it wasn't even really completely different, was it? We're still talking about Chris Watts. But we were able to discuss a movie. And so for that, I'm grateful to you all. All right, guys. Thank you guys so, so much. Take care. And TK, you also have access to Discord because you are a moderator on Rabbit Hole Rocks Live. So yeah. Yes, guys, you have your assignment. Please go watch. Go watch. Give me your feedback. Let me know what you guys think. All right, guys, I love you all. Please take care. Have a great rest of your day and a great weekend. Please take care. Be safe. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys. I'm going to leave you guys to some ASMR because we were talking about, Chris. All right, guys. See you later.